I really like Legos, like, a lot. I also really like Iron Man, like, a lot. And this means two things. I am beyond broke, and I love Lego Iron Man. I mean, really just Lego Marvel in general. And I have since I've been really young, but most of the sets are in pieces. Not all of them, though, don't worry. I do really love Lego Iron Man. Like, this piece goes to a Lego Iron Man that's worth almost $100, but I don't know where the rest of the figure is. I love the old Lego Iron Man, not the weird new ones with the weird helmets. These are just trash. So obviously, when I saw this video from Emily the engineer, I just knew I had to make that. It was my destiny. And she did a really good job with it, and it really made me want to do it, so shout out to her, I guess. When I started this, I just switched from the FlashForge slicer to Orca slicer, and if you have a FlashForge printer, I would strongly recommend doing so too. It has a lot of features that make it a lot easier to print giant things on smaller printers, so I would really check it out. And the helmet I was about to make was giant. I printed the faceplate first in 2 parts, and the dovetail connectors on the faceplate made it so it could just snap in just right after printing. It made it super easy to weld too. And the other parts of the helmet were just such a weird shape, and they used so much support. And I mean a ton. Like, I must have used an entire roll just on supports for this project. After a bunch of printing, I had the first 2 pieces of the helmet done, and they just didn't fit. But I printed it again, and it still didn't fit, but I welded them together anyway. I was just done, bro. I was not gonna reprint that again. I got started on the top half, and it came out absolutely buns. Like, this is the second worst it could come out, and the worst being a pile of just spaghetti. And it was also just completely cracked in the back. I don't even know how it happened, so that was gonna make it really difficult to fix. Alright, enough with the stressful music. I had barely enough filament to finish the last piece, but once I did, it actually turned out, good. So, that was a good morale booster. I duct taped everything together, and it was actually, really starting to look pretty cool. I was posting my progress every single day on Shorts. That's why the camera is always in long form, sorry. And people were really liking it, so that also gave me a big morale boost. But it was time to start the part that I've been dreading the most. Welding it. It wasn't super hard, it was just kind of a pain in the butt. I mean, look at that. And at this point I knew that no matter what, the back of the helmet was gonna look pretty bad. I then started trying to find a way to fill in these cracks in the faceplate. And after a couple helpful comments from you guys, I went with putty. And the putty should be able to fill in places with the holes, even the tiny holes from printing. And so I got started, but that putty was dry. But I got some more, so we're alright. Throughout this video, you're going to see an absurd amount of time lapses, and this is mainly because when I was posting on Shorts, I only had 1 minute to cover everything, so there was just a whole lot of them. And next up was sanding, and I'm not going to show you everything I have for sanding because it's mostly just a bunch of crappy time lapses. I started with 80 grit and then moved up to 120, and then 150 and 220 had to be manually wet sanded, which was kind of a pain, but I got it done. Normally when I'm painting and sanding, I sand a lot higher than 220, except that's only when I'm making things that are supposed to look like metal. A Lego Iron Man helmet is not meant to look like metal, it's meant to look like plastic. So I purposely didn't sand as much. Now it's time for paint. I used painter's tape to cover up the red part, so now we can do the rest of the gold. And with that, the faceplate is basically done. And I was really happy with how it turned out. I mean, look at it, it's just awesome. And now moving on to the rest of the helmet, we had to fill in all of these holes. And I'm going to do this with my 3D pen. If you don't know what a 3D pen is, it's basically just a manual 3D printer. I started off with a slow layer over the big hole and then gradually added more and more layers to make it really sturdy. And then I basically did the same thing for all the other big holes. And that was pretty much it. Everything's all filled in, so now it's time for the putty again. And this took a really long time. Watch the sky change as I do it. And there was a lot of big clumped up pieces, so I used 80 grit again to get all that off. And there was a lot of dust afterwards. Hey wait, no, it's not that, it's not that. After that, I used primer and sanded some more. I don't normally use primer, and I have no idea why, because this works super well. And here's a slow-mo of me dumping water on the helmet. And now at 10 o'clock at night, we're doing some painting. That is the helmet completely painted, and it looks absolutely sick. I got both the hinges printed and also found this cool file for the eyes. I don't know why, but I love these eyepieces, and I'm definitely going to be using them in the future. I quickly glued those in and then also put cotton balls and duct tape on the inside to make my own custom padding. And my cat was very interested in what I was doing. And now the helmet is completely finished. The hinges work great, the eyes are awesome, and this is definitely one of the best things I've ever made. If you liked the video, please subscribe. I'm really trying to grow as a channel, and it's free and will help out a ton. And thank you for all the support. It was a ton of fun to make this with you guys.